All right, so we've got 3x over 3x over x plus 2 minus 5 over x minus 3, and this must be equal to negative 25 over, I've decided to factor the denominator, x minus 3 times x plus 2. So we want to, of course, solve for x, but first let's find the non-permissible values. So let's look over here. X cannot be equal to negative 2. That'll be a problem. X equal to 3, so x cannot be equal to 3 here. And same thing with the right-hand side, right? X cannot be equal to 3, and x cannot be equal to negative 2. Okay, so that's out of the way. Now we need to find the lowest common denominator, right? So this is a denominator that has x plus 2, a factor of x plus 2, but must also have a factor of x minus 3. So it's going to be x plus 2 times x minus 3. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these terms, this term, and the right-hand side, and we're going to multiply everything by our lowest common denominator, right? These two factors here, right? So we're going to have 3x over x plus 2 times our x plus 2 times x minus 3. If you want to write just times LCD, that would also be good too, right? That would be fine, right? It saves a bit of space, right? Because this takes up a lot of horizontal space. Minus 5 over x minus 3 times x plus 2 times x minus 3 is equal to, well, the nice thing about this denominator is that it's already the lowest common denominator. So if I multiply this negative 25 over this by the LCD, these two factors are going to cancel out. So we're just going to be left with negative 25, okay? And also, on the left side, we see this has x plus 2 down here, so this factor and this factor will cancel out. This has x minus 3 in the denominator, so this and this will cancel out. And what we're left with is 3x times x minus 3 minus 5 times x plus 2 equal to negative 25. And so let's distribute over here. So 3x times x is just going to be 3x squared. 3x times negative 3 is going to be negative 9x, and we're going to have negative 5 times x, so negative 5x, and then negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10. This is, of course, equal to negative 25. And so negative 9 and negative 5 just gives us negative 14, so 3x squared minus 14x minus 10 is equal to negative 25. Let's add 25 to both sides. So here we go, plus 25, plus 25. So what do we have? We've got 3x squared minus 14x plus 15 is equal to 0. And so all we need to do is of course just factor. So we could use the cross method if we want, right? Write these factors down here, and then the factors of 15, so 5 and 3, right? We could write 5 and 3, and we go, okay, what are the factors of, so we need to make sure that this times this, and this times this, this times this, plus this times this gives us negative 14. So we're going to have to make sure that these are negative, right? So 3 times negative 3, right? That's going to be negative 9. And then 1 times negative 5 is going to be negative 5. So negative 9 plus negative 5 is negative 14. So that's going to work. So we can write this as 3x minus 5 times x minus 3. This is equal to 0. Okay. If you don't remember how to factor, right, or if you don't like this method, you could use the decomposition method as well. If this seems totally obscure, then I recommend you go back to chapter 4 and review some of that content. But anyway, so we factored this, and so we have 3x minus 5 times x minus 3. What values of x would satisfy this equation? Well, x equal to 5/3 would suffice, because 3 times 5/3, the 3's will cancel out. We'll have 5 minus 5, 0. Great, so that works. And x equal to 3. But hold on a second. What did we say way up here? We said that x could not be equal to 3. So this is, of course, an extraneous root. Okay, so our solution is actually just x equal to 5/3.